Welcome to In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska, broadcasting from Melbourne, Australia, an independent journalist sharing with you vital information regarding what we've been talking about for the last few months, and that is the scholarly paper by Professor Dr. Igor Yanev, the Prespa Agreement as Cultural Genocide of the Macedonian National Identity towards the termination of an illegal treaty. First published in 2023. We've completed Appendix 1, and today we are going to share with you Appendix 2. By the way, this is part of our series on the Macedonian question. So Appendix 2 title is Treaty of Friendship, Good Neighborliness and Cooperation between the Republic of Bulgaria and the Republic of Macedonia. The Republic of Bulgaria and the Republic of Macedonia hereafter referred to collectively as the contracting parties. Building on the shared desire for further development of good neighborliness, friendship, and cooperation between the two countries, deeply convinced in the need to develop cooperation on the basis of mutual respect, trust, understanding, good neighborliness, and mutual respect for the interests of their countries. Sounds good. Believing that the comprehensive development and deepening of the friendly, good neighborly relations between them corresponds to the interests of the peoples of the Republic of Bulgaria and the Republic of Macedonia. Convinced in the need to strengthen security and peace, cooperation and confidence in southern or southeastern Europe. Welcoming the aspirations of the Republic of Macedonia for integration into the European and Euro-Atlantic structures. Believing that a constructive dialogue on all aspects of bilateral relations, as well as on regional and international issues, will contribute to the further development of the relations of the two countries on an equal basis, affirming the fundamental importance of joint declaration of the 22nd of February 1999 in the relations between the two countries, considering their common history, which connects both countries and their peoples, respecting the principles of the Charter of the Organization of the United Nations and the documents of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, as well as the democratic principles enshrined in the Council of Europe instruments, have agreed as follows. Okay, so the two countries have agreed as follows. Listen, please. Article 1. The two contracting parties will develop comprehensive relations with each other in accordance with the fundamental principles of international law and good neighborliness. Article 2.1. The two contracting parties will cooperate within the framework of the Organization of the United Nations, the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe, the Council of Europe, and other international organizations and fora. 2. The two contracting parties will develop their cooperation in the field of European and Euro-Atlantic integration aimed at the successful preparation of the Republic of Macedonia for its accession to the European Union and NATO. The Bulgarian side will share its experience in order to assist the Republic of Macedonia in fulfilling the necessary criteria for membership in the European Union and will support the Republic of Macedonia in receiving an invitation for NATO membership in accordance with the relevant decisions of the NATO summits. Interesting. Article 3. says the two contracting parties will contribute to the development of cooperation among the countries of Southeastern Europe, to the strengthening of the understanding, peace, and stability in the region, and to the realization of regional projects as part of the process of creating a unified Europe. Article 4. 1. The two contracting parties will maintain contacts and hold meetings between the representatives of the state authorities at different levels for the development of friendly relations and cooperation. If you've been watching events that have transpired in the last 2 years in particular, I would like to know whether you agree with this, whether this has been achieved. Development of friendly relations and cooperation. 2, the two contracting parties will assist each other in maintaining contacts between the local authorities and the citizens of both countries. Article 5. Bearing in mind their geographical proximity, the two contracting parties will endeavor to create the necessary legal, economic, financial, and commercial conditions to ensure the widest possible movement of goods, services, and capital. They will encourage mutual investments and ensure their protection. Article 6. The two contracting parties will support the expansion of tourist exchange as well as the development of appropriate forms of cooperation in the field of tourism. Article 7. The two contracting parties will expand and improve the transport links and other communications between them, including within the framework of regional infrastructure projects. Have they done anything about it? What's the evidence? Extending and improving transport links and other communications. Number 2, the two contracting parties will endeavor to facilitate customs and border formalities for passengers and goods moving between them. I asked the question, what has been done? What's the evidence, please? Article 6. 1, the two contracting parties will promote active and unhindered cooperation in the fields of culture, education, healthcare, social policy, and sport. Doesn't it sound similar, identical to the other one, the Prespa Agreement? What do you think? Number 2 of Article 8, at the latest within a period of 3 months as of the entry into force of this treaty, with the aim of deepening mutual trust, the two contracting parties will establish on a parity principle, a joint multidisciplinary expert commission on historical and educational issues to contribute to the objective based on authentic and evidence-based historical sources, scientific interpretation of the historical events. The Commission will submit to the governments of the contracting parties an annual report on its work. Is there an annual report since the signing of this treaty? What's the evidence? Number 3, the two contracting parties will organize by mutual agreement joint celebrations of common historical events and personalities aimed at strengthening and good neighborly relations in the spirit of the European values. From what I remember, the celebrations that were held where the representatives from the Bulgarian country attended caused a lot of havoc and unrest and dissatisfaction amongst the people for the behaviors that were exhibited on the part of the state of Bulgaria. So how is it working? Is it in accordance with the treaty? I'll leave that to you to determine. Article 9, moving on. Article 9 says, the two contracting parties will make efforts for the free dissemination of information by encouraging and developing the cooperation in the field of mass media through the use of the capabilities of modern means of communication. The two contracting parties undertake to protect the copyright and intellectual rights of artists from both countries. Article 10, the two contracting parties will extend their cooperation in the legal and consular spheres, in particular in civil, criminal, and administrative matters, as well as in resolving their citizens' humanitarian and social problems. Why does the Republic of Bulgaria not recognize the decisions made on an international level to recognize the Macedonian population in the Republic of Bulgaria? Why are they not following those court decisions? There are quite a few of them, in fact. Do we need to remind them of all of them? Article 11. 1. Neither contracting party will take, incite, and support actions against the other state which is unfriendly in nature. Well, has there not been any incitement? Of course there has been. Neither contracting party will allow its territory to be used against the other by organizations and groups which have the purpose of committing subversive, separatist, and threatening the peace and security of the other party's acts. That was number 2 under Article 11. Number 3, the two contracting parties have no, it says, and will not make any territorial claims against each other. Well, I'm laughing here because the intentions and the plans, and there's plenty of evidence apparently, is to divide Macedonia between Albania and Bulgaria, to divide it in two. Yes, plenty of evidence of that, allegedly. And moving on to the next one. Each contractual party has the right to protect the rights and interests of its citizens in the territory of the other party in accordance with international law. Is it protecting the interests of the Macedonian population in Bulgaria? Is it protecting the interests of all other ethnic groups residing within the borders of the Republic of Bulgaria? Is it? What's your opinion on that? The Republic of Macedonia confirms that nothing in its constitution can and should be interpreted as constituting or will ever constitute a basis for interfering in the internal affairs of the Republic of Bulgaria with the purpose of protecting the status and rights of persons who are not citizens of the Republic of Macedonia. Number 6, the two contracting parties will take effective measures to prevent malicious propaganda by institutions and agencies and will discourage acts of private entities aimed at instigating violence, hatred, or other similar acts which would harm their relations. I'm just recalling the events that took place when the first Bulgarian club was opened in the city of Bitola. And all the problems that caused in that city and around the country, with the government of Macedonia watching and keeping their mouths shut in responses to the complaints and the dissatisfaction that was expressed by the Macedonian people and other peoples living in Macedonia. I wish to remind you that you're listening to In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska, broadcasting from Melbourne, Australia. Article number 2 of Appendix 2 is the following. 1. Within 3 months as of the entry into force of this treaty, the two contracting parties will establish a joint intergovernmental commission. The commission will be co-chaired by the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the two contracting parties and will include senior officials from both countries. 2, the Joint Intergovernmental Commission will hold regular meetings once a year with the purpose of reviewing the effective implementation of this treaty, to adopt measures to improve bilateral cooperation as well as to resolve issues arising during the implementation of the treaty. Each of the contracting parties may, if necessary, propose the organization of additional meetings of the Joint Intergovernmental Commission. Article 13. 1. This treaty is subject to ratification in accordance with the constitutional requirements of the contracting parties. This treaty will enter into force on the date of the exchange of the instruments of ratification of both contracting parties and will remain in force for an indefinite period of time. Indefinite period of time. Big commitment. Number 2 of Article 13. This treaty may be amended by written agreement within the two contracting parties. Yes, it may be amended. Amendments will be negotiated through diplomatic channels and will enter into force in accordance with paragraph 1 of this article. Number 3, each contracting party may terminate the treaty by giving written notice. Now let's read this again. Let's read this again, please. Article number 13, point number 3, each contracting party may terminate the treaty by giving written notice to the other contracting party. Yes, the treaty will cease to be in force 1 year after the date of receipt of this notice. What are they waiting for? What is the Republic of Macedonia waiting for? I ask. Perhaps the Republic of Bulgaria may wish to exercise this article number 13.3 and give notice to the Republic of Macedonia to terminate the treaty. We shall see. Remains to be seen. Article 14, this agreement will in no way be interpreted as to contradict bilateral or multilateral treaties to which the two contracting parties are parties. Signed in Skopje on the 1st of August 2017 in 2 original copies each in the official languages of the contracting parties, that is, the Bulgarian language in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Bulgaria and the Macedonian language in accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Macedonia, both texts being equally valid. Now, we know that this treaty between the Republic of Macedonia and Republic of Bulgaria was written in the respective languages and signed by the respective persons. We also have learned in the previous appendix, or appendix number 1, that the Prespa Agreement original document was in English. Why so? Why wasn't it in the Macedonian language and/or Greek language? Is there a Macedonian version? If there is one, let's have a look at that, please. I'd love a copy of the Macedonian version so we can check and compare and see whether what is contained in the English version is actually the true and correct version of the English text, whoever was the author of that document. Also, we wouldn't mind seeing the Macedonian versions. Perhaps the Bulgarian, we may be able to understand, maybe, maybe. Yes. So we've read article number 14, and on the bottom of that page, it says for the Republic of Bulgaria, and on the other side for the Republic of Macedonia. That is Appendix 2 of this scholarly publication by Professor Igor Yanev, Professor Dr. Igor Yanev, who very kindly gave us permission to put this document into the public domain so that you are aware of it, so that you become familiar with its contents, and that you may, like me, ask questions about it. Particularly if you're not clear about certain things, ask the questions. Put them out there on the social media, on our channel, on Facebook, wherever you want to. Let us talk about these things and discuss them. Was this the right thing to do? Were the contents of these agreements beneficial to both parties, or was it a biased document which is now been implemented? Is it working? What are the issues? What are the problems? So there are a lot of questions there. I, for one, certainly like to know lots of answers. I'm hoping you would do too. So please subscribe to this channel. It's called In Focus with Silvana Pavlovska. It's a YouTube channel. We also have presence on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., etc. Looking forward to seeing you very shortly. Bye for now.